Welcome to the Inner Chosen. Let me ask you something. What if the reason you can't fit in is because you were never meant to? If you stay with me through this video, you're going to learn a lot. Real, practical things that will shift how you see yourself, how you move, and what you do next. So, take a breath, lean in, and let's begin. You were never too much. You were simply surrounded by people who required you to dim yourself so they could stay comfortable. When you're powerful, focused, intense, or deeply honest, it can trigger insecurity in rooms that survive, on small talk and safe dreams. That discomfort isn't proof you're wrong. It's proof your frequency doesn't match the space you're in. Most people don't reject you because of who you are. They react to what your presence exposes in them. Your ambition highlights their stagnation. Your boundaries highlight their lack of self-control. Your clarity highlights their confusion. So they label you extra, dramatic, or hard to understand, when the truth is you're just honest in a world that prefers performance. If you keep shrinking to be accepted, you'll start confusing acceptance with love. You'll become skilled at hiding your needs, lowering your standards, and laughing at things that quietly hurt. At first, it feels like peace, but over time, it becomes a betrayal of your real self, because you learn how to survive in places you were meant to outgrow. The shift happens when you stop trying to be digestible and start being truthful, not louder, truer. You don't need to prove anything to people who only feel safe when you're small. You don't need to explain your depth to someone committed to staying shallow. Your job isn't to be understood by everyone. It's to be aligned with the life you're meant to live. So choose rooms that expand you. Choose people who don't flinch when you speak with conviction. Choose environments where your growth is normal, not threatening. Because when you finally step into the right space, you won't feel like too much anymore. You'll feel like you're finally the right amount. Your life changes the moment you stop negotiating with the version of you that keeps dragging you back. That old self has a voice that sounds reasonable, but it always asks for just one more delay, one more excuse, one more escape. It doesn't demand failure directly. It offers comfort in small portions until your future quietly disappears. Negotiation is how cycles stay alive. You promise change, then bargain with your habits, then wake up in the same place wondering why nothing moved it. The truth is, the old self doesn't want progress. It wants familiarity. Even pain can feel familiar. Even chaos can feel like home when you've lived there long enough. The real turning point is when you stop treating your old self like a partner and start treating it like a pattern. You don't debate patterns, you replace them. You don't argue with the urge to self-sabotage. You interrupt it. You don't wait for motivation. You obey the plan like it's non-negotiable. This doesn't require perfection. It requires a clean decision. When the craving shows up, when the distraction calls, when the doubt tries to open the same door again, you answer with one sentence: not today. That simple refusal is the beginning of freedom, because it proves you're the one in control. And once you stop negotiating, your energy comes back. Your mind gets quieter. Your confidence stops depending on mood and starts depending on action. The future version of you finally has space to breathe, and the old version, with nothing left to bargain with, starts to fade. Discipline isn't something you either have or don't have. It's something you practice until it becomes familiar. People love to call it a personality trait because it removes responsibility. If you're not disciplined, you can stop trying. But discipline is built the same way strength is built, through repetition, not identity. Most days, discipline will feel ordinary. It won't look like a movie montage. It will look like doing the small thing you promised yourself you'd do, even when your emotions are asking for comfort instead. The chosen ones don't win because they feel inspired. They win because they keep showing up when nobody's watching. If you wait to feel ready, you'll live in a loop. Feelings change too fast to be your leader. Some mornings you'll feel unstoppable, and other mornings you'll feel empty. Discipline is the bridge that carries you across both. It turns your goals from someday into a schedule. Start by making promises you can actually keep. then keeping them like your self-respect depends on it, because it does. One workout, one page, 1 hour of focused work, one difficult conversation, one early bedtime. Every time you follow through, you teach your mind a new truth. I do what I say. Over time, the identity changes naturally. You don't need to declare yourself disciplined. Your actions will do it for you. And once discipline becomes your baseline, your life stops being controlled by mood, craving, or distraction. You become someone reliable, and that reliability becomes a quiet power. Fear is not always a warning to stop. Sometimes it's a signal that you're standing at the edge of your next level. The body reacts to growth the same way it reacts to danger. Faster heartbeat, tight chest, racing thoughts. That's why so many people mistake expansion for a threat and retreat just before their life could change. Think about what you fear most: being seen, failing publicly, succeeding and losing people, starting over, committing fully. Those fears usually gather around the exact thing you're meant to do, because the thing that matters to you will always carry weight, and weight creates pressure. You're not weak for feeling it. You're human. The chosen move is learning to read fear correctly. Instead of asking, "How do I get rid of this?" ask, "What is this pointing to?" If fear appears every time you approach a certain opportunity, a certain truth, a certain bold step, it might be revealing direction, not danger. It might be showing you where your life is waiting. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the decision to move while fear is present. You don't need to feel confident to take the step. You need a reason that's stronger than your comfort. When you act anyway, the fear doesn't instantly vanish, but it loses authority. It stops being the driver and becomes background noise. And the more you follow fear as a compass, the clearer your path becomes. You start trusting that discomfort can mean growth, that uncertainty can mean possibility, that shaking hands can still build great things. One day, you look back and realize the fear wasn't trying to stop you. It was trying to lead you out of the life that was too small. You don't actually need more time. You need fewer leaks. Time isn't the only thing getting spent. Your attention is too. Every notification, every random scroll, every quick check turns into a quiet tax on your life. And by the end of the day, it feels like time vanished, when really it was divided into pieces too small to build anything meaningful. Most people are not busy. They are fragmented. They start something, stop, switch, and restart until their mind feels exhausted without producing results. The truth is, you could double your output without adding a single hour, just by protecting the first one. One focused hour beats 5 distracted ones every time. So, the real solution isn't hustling harder, it's designing your environment. Put distance between you and the things that steal your mind. Silence the apps that turn your brain into a slot machine. Schedule your deep work like an appointment you cannot cancel. You don't need perfect discipline. You need smart barriers. And be honest about what you call breaks. Some breaks restore you, and some breaks sedate you. A walk, a shower, stretching, journaling, those bring you back. Endless scrolling, gossip loops, and chaotic group chats don't rest you. They drain you while pretending to relax you. Your future deserves the kind of rest that refuels, not the kind that numbs. When you cut distraction, time starts to feel longer. You become present again. Ideas connect. Confidence returns because you keep promises to yourself. And slowly you stop saying, "I don't have time," and start saying, "I protect what matters." That's when your life begins to move like it was always supposed to. Who you are isn't proven when people clap. It's revealed when nobody's watching. Applause can make anyone look consistent for a while. But private life is the true mirror. The things you do in silence, when there's no reward and no recognition, are the foundations of the person you're becoming. There's a version of you that only shows up when it's convenient. And there's a version of you that shows up because you said you would. The second one is the real you. That's the one with integrity. And integrity is what creates self-respect, because your mind starts trusting your word again. Private effort is also where confidence is built correctly, not the loud kind that needs attention, but the quiet kind that doesn't need permission. When you train, study, create, or heal without an audience, you stop performing your growth and start living it. You become less influenced by opinion because your identity is anchored in action. This is why consistency feels powerful. It removes the need to prove yourself. You don't chase validation because you already know what you're doing. And when challenges hit, you don't collapse because your strength isn't borrowed from praise, it's built from habit. So, make your private life your masterpiece. Let the real progress happen, off camera. Let your results speak later. Because when you become solid in secret, you become unstoppable in public, and nothing shakes you because your foundation was never built on applause. And stop measuring your worth by whether they like you. Approval is a moving target, and the people who demand you chase it usually benefit from you doubting yourself. When your focus comes, do they accept me? You hand them the steering wheel of your mood, your choices, and your identity. Instead, flip the question. Do they deserve access to you? Not your attention for 5 minutes, your time, your energy, your loyalty, your softness, your trust. Your presence is expensive, and not everyone is qualified to be close to it. Some people only want you around when you are useful, silent, or easy to control. Pay attention to what happens when you grow. The right people don't compete with your progress, they celebrate it. The wrong people become passive-aggressive, distant, or critical. They'll call you changed, like it's an insult, when it's actually evidence that you're evolving beyond what they can handle. Being chosen doesn't mean being adored by everyone. It means being aligned with what's true. Sometimes that truth costs you certain relationships, certain rooms, certain versions of yourself, and that's not loss. That's filtration. What can't come with you shouldn't. So, choose respect over popularity. Choose peace over attachment. Choose people who speak to your future, not your wounds. Because once you stop asking if they like you stop shrinking, and you start living like someone who knows their value. Your intuition doesn't disappear. It gets drowned out. When your life is loud, your inner voice has to compete with noise, opinions, and constant stimulation. And intuition rarely fights for attention. It waits. That's why you can feel lost even when the answers are already inside you. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is a signal booster. The moment you remove the endless input, scrolling, chatting, reacting, you create space for clarity to rise. You start noticing what you've been avoiding. You start recognizing patterns you kept excusing. You start hearing the truth without distortion. A quiet life doesn't mean a boring life. It means a life with less chaos and more direction. It means protecting your mornings, your mind, your emotional energy. It means not letting other people's urgency become your lifestyle. Because when you live in constant reaction mode, you lose the ability to choose. Make small pockets of quiet every day. 5 minutes with no phone. A walk without music. A moment where you sit and ask yourself honestly, what do I know that I've been ignoring? At first, it might feel uncomfortable because silence brings your real thoughts back, but that discomfort is detox. And once your life gets quieter, your intuition gets sharper. Decisions become easier. You stop second-guessing. You feel what's right before you can explain it. And that's the power of quiet. It doesn't add something new. It reveals what was always there. Before you go, I want you to do one simple thing. Choose one word that captures what this video awakened in you. Something like discipline, clarity, courage, alignment, focus, boundaries, growth, peace. Pick your word, write it down, and keep it somewhere you'll see it today. Let it be your reminder that you're not here to drift, you're here to choose. And if this message reached you at the right time, help it reach the next person too. Tap YouTube's new Hype feature and support this video so it can find the people who need it most. I'll see you on the other side.